Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing audio levels, 1, 2, 3.
Order. My name is Sid Crampton. I'm filling in as chair. And right now we're going to do the roll call with Melissa, please.
All right. Chair Schmidt, absent. Vice Chair Crampton.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Gibson, absent. Commissioner McCarthy, absent. Commissioner McEwen.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Ono.
Here.
Thank you. And Commissioner Spangler.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're going to start off with the presentations of the status of the Parks and Recreation Department operations for June 2023 through August 2023. And we'd like to start with Karen Larson.
I think they'll be bringing up the presentation. Thank you very much. We'll get started as soon as we see the presentation upload.
So Karen, confirm you do not see the presentation?
No.
Okay,
We
Let
don't
me
see
try it
the-
again. Hold on one second.
We apologize for the technical difficulties this evening. There we go. Thank you so much. Good evening, commissioners. Thank you for allowing us to do this presentation this evening. We are going to be discussing the summer in the Parks and Recreation Department for our activities from June through August. If you notice the lovely picture of our sea lions to commemorate Louis' headaches over the past couple of weeks. And so we can go ahead and get started. First, I'd like to start with some really good news. If you notice on this slide, you'll notice a lot of FTs, which stand for full time. And it's been a very exciting couple of months. We did hire a full-time recreation specialist. Her name is Mallory Hill. And since we're in the process of hiring several people, we're hoping at our next meeting, you'll get a chance to meet everyone. We're also in the process of hiring a full-time sports center manager and a full-time management analyst. Right now, we're in the process of reference checks and salary negotiations. And then we're also getting ready to hire a park maintenance worker. That recruitment is also in process. And Louis and I have 2 half days of interviews coming up next week. And then also in the pipeline with human resources is a full-time recreation coordinator that will be supporting the recreation division, hopefully freeing up Nate Coda to do more recreation supervisor duties. And then this coordinator will help us running Ellis Darrow Park Center and other activities throughout the division. And then also the full-time guest services specialist will be like a return to our first full-time person at the front desk at the Monterey Sports Center. So we're super excited about that. This will give Andrea Diallo, our facility coordinator, some much needed support in that area. And next, I will be passing it over to Louis for Parks Division operations.
Okay, so we planted our usual amount of plants and abated our deceased animals. We spent a lot of hours doing transient camp removal, weed production going on as usual this time of year. Beach cleanups with Blue Zone, and we had the breakdown of all the summer camps and assisted with 4th of July events. We've been re-landscaping the entryway wall, or we put an entryway wall on the Fremont side of the cemetery. It's coming out really good. It's probably about a week away from being finished. We also had a grant to remove some turf at San Carlos parking lot above San Carlos Beach. From we got the grant from Cal-Am, and we put in some native plants and drip irrigation, so that could save a lot of water. That's what the grant was for, water saving. And we also re-landscaped the front of the library. We've done a lot of landscaping projects, and we've been topping off the wood chips at 7 tot lots, and we put those ADA beach mats in at the beach. And we also protecting the sea lions, my favorite marine mammal.
Thank you.
And forestry operations, winter cleanup after the storm still going on. We've done some extensive pruning in Hilltop and Oak Newton trees. CAL FIRE, we haven't gotten them as much as we'd like. It's been pretty hard to get those this year, 44 crew hours. And so we've been doing a lot of fuel reduction with our tree contractors. We're in the process of trying to renew our tree maintenance contracts. We did our tree inspections and our tree pruning, and we've submitted some grant applications, and we have gotten one, and we hope to get a few more.
Okay, so we're having still a little technical difficulties at the moment, but it's working good for now. So we're going to give you the update on the Recreation Division, which included our special events and camp programs. I didn't actually include a slide, but we had our huge 4th of July lawn party, and it all went really, really well. Summer camps, a variety of those, and outreach events, again, field sports for youth and adults, and our community center programs. So for fiscal year 23, we just finally closed that out. We had 350 programs offered with 31,229 participants. That means participants registered. That doesn't mean that was attendance. Attendance would be, you know, if they signed up for 4 sessions, we saw those people 4 times. So this is just registrations. The Recreation Division team is still working at capacity. We have 3 facilities, 11 outdoor program sites. We're headed into what we call a slightly less busy time, just because our summer camps have wrapped up, but we're still at about 160 hours a week. Again, in May and June and July, that's about 420 hours per week. So when you think about open buildings and facilities and programs, we have programs that many hours during the week, with about right now 8.75 staff and 1 vacancy, which Karen mentioned earlier. So what we're seeing, and you'll see as we go through, is our program demand is back and greater than March 2020 levels. We're not really sure what the difference is. There also is a turnover of military families, and people have moved in and moved out, but we're definitely seeing a very large demand for just about every single program that we offer. So we do a lot of community outreach. This is something that kind of went away with COVID, but it's our opportunity to market and get ourselves out there. And this is a busy time for that, because we're trying to get back out to the schools and notify them of what we offer. So we started with La Mesa and Delray Woods back to school events. We had Monterey Bay Parent back to school event, and then our senior day at the Monterey County Fair. But this is just the months of June through August. Then recreation summer camps, we had a full slate of summer camps. All our traditional programs came back. What we learned from that is staff recruitment and capacity is still going to be an ongoing challenge. This, I felt like our first normal summer, but there's still the challenge of hiring new staff, building up our resources. We usually have people that are with us for multiple years at a time. This really was the first year that we're hoping we're going to have people for a few more years, whether they're in college or high school. We really can't have like a full turnover of all of our summer staff. It makes it very difficult to train and also just keep program consistency. We saw that we definitely need to work on fundraising and campership opportunities for our camp programs, because I feel like those are the most needed in the community because they offer childcare for summer, and there's definitely people need quality childcare. We are looking to expand, and we started our summer marketing, but we didn't have enough time to pull it all together. So you're going to see we took a lot of footage, we took a lot of photos, we put together some videos. You're going to see a lot of that starting much earlier. Hopefully January 2024, we'll start on recruitment and then early planning and marketing for the summer camps, because parents are actually emailing us in December or January already wanting to know what the summer schedule is. Those, not everyone, but quite a few parents that want to be on top of things are already sending us emails. Another thing that we are doing, and then we just popped up in the news, is we always review our pay rates, but we're going to have to look at those much more closely. The state of California came to some sort of agreement with fast food service workers that everyone will be making $20 an hour starting in the spring, which is great. But if we're competing for the same part-time employees, we need to remain competitive. So we're going to have to review our PTS rates for not just summer, but all of our staff. And then that'll probably also have an effect on positions above that because of compaction. So that's something that we're going to have to tackle in the next couple of months. And then again, things are changing. We need to move with it, just making sure we create an inclusive and welcoming environment for everyone in all of our programs. That we just want to be open to everyone. So if that's basically it. So Camp Kinsabi was our youth overnight camp. This was its 70th summer under the stars. Some of you guys came out to camp, and thank you so much. We'll do that again next year. We did see enrollment go up. We went from about 242 campers last summer to 293 campers this summer. We're still rebuilding. We're not at where we were in 2019, but that's okay. It gives us time to rebuild. We didn't offer a family camp this summer. We're not sure we're going to offer one next summer. It takes a lot out of the staff to basically have no time off, no weekends off when we do a family camp. Campership opportunities were big. We really do need to try and get the word out to all of Monterey County, including North and South Monterey County, because there are, for many children, this might be their only camping experience that they might ever have. And a lot of schools are also doing away with science camps. And so this is an opportunity that some children might not get. So we're already starting planning immediately for 24. We had great staff. The summer was awesome. Really good, solid people. We're hoping we're going to have a good chunk of Camp Kinsabi staff returning. They've indicated they will. So Whispering Pines Day Camp, I would say this program is just almost at where it was 2019. We had 82% of enrollment based on 2019 with 448 campers. We actually had a wait list this summer. If we could have taken everyone off the wait list, we probably would have reached 100%, but we just didn't have enough staff. So we're going to start early with enrollment and early with hiring so that we can hopefully accommodate everyone on the wait list. So we know rebuilding is an ongoing effort. We will have to work on recruiting and retaining camp directors and counselors. And really what this should be is an opportunity to start children with a camp experience and hopefully transition them when they're and their parents are ready to Camp Kinsabi, so that we've got them from 5 to 15. That's our plan. Summer Fun Playground Program is another program that's one of our traditional programs that we offer every year. It's probably older than Camp Kinsabi. It was at 3 sites this summer: Via Paraiso, Hilltop, and Casanova. So we truly are serving all of Monterey. We had 104 participants, and this is the most affordable option that we have for families. It is one flat fee for 7 weeks. And that is our Hilltop site, one of their special theme days. So field sports had another amazing summer. Field sports was one of our first programs that we did bring back, but we had camps. We had beach volleyball, soccer, basketball, track and field, flag football. We ended up having to add more weeks of volleyball because it was full with the wait list. We also had 3 weeks of soccer, whereas last summer we had 2 weeks of soccer. So just big numbers for youth sports. We're starting our youth soccer league in another week. We have 217 enrolled, but we have 162 on the wait list. And we just don't have enough field space and staff to get everyone off of that wait list. Love to be able to do it, but that's almost like having another full day of games. And then adult field sports, we wrapped our men's and co-rec softball league with 50 teams. We just started our fall softball league with another 50 teams. We also have 30 and over baseball with 131 players. So again, numbers are actually exceeding 2019, 2020 for adult sports. And then we just had a meeting. We're working on adding 4-on-4 adult beach volleyball league in the spring, and then another league in the summer for a couple months at a time. So El Estero Park Center is full, preschool's full with a wait list. We also have a very strong enrollment in our youth programs for dancing, fencing, chess, and gymnastics. Fencing is going to expand at mid-year. We're also expanding our dance and art and gymnastics camps and classes. We had a little bit of a lull in gymnastics because one of our instructor had surgery. Everything's coming back. Summer camps were also offered at El Estero. So they had Lego, several weeks of Lego, woodworking, and tiny tots, and all of those programs were also full with wait lists. Hilltop is going. We added another night of ceramics, and so now there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday ceramics, and those programs are full with wait lists again. Piano lessons are full. Our blood drives, our summer camp there for tots 3 to 5 was full. The other programs that we're offering are strongly enrolled, but not quite full. And then what's next is our Theater for Kids program. Schultze had a very busy summer, a variety of programs. We, of course, added our safe driving course. There's been 1,081 drive-through meals for those 3 months. We are the only drive-through Meals on Wheels site that remains post-COVID-19. It's actually has more participation than when we were open with congregate in-person dining. We actually averaged maybe like less than 10 people sitting down to have a meal. And now we're averaging over 30 every day getting a meal to go. Produce distribution is a program that we do with the Monterey Food Bank, and they bring produce every Monday, and we're serving about 300 people a month with that. What's next? Smartphone training, Medicare updates, and we're bringing back special events that really the seniors have been desperately missing. So they're ready, and we're ready for them. So Casanova, this is an ongoing thing. It is based on what we're seeing as demand and staff capacity, but we have added we've done some special events there. We had our summer playground program there. We did just an event at Montecito Park that served North Monterey this past weekend. We will be opening up enrollment in another week or so for our special events. all of those are kind of the same thing. Kids night out, parents night out, drop and shop. They'll be themed, but they're basically an opportunity for kids to come have fun with us while parents can go have a date night or go shopping or do something without having the kiddos along, seeing everything that they're buying for Christmas and stuff like that. Bookmobile Stop is back. It's there every Tuesday from 2:30 to 4:30. We're hosting a CERT training on October 18th for the Kona neighborhood. And again, we're working on expanding the programs based on demand and staff capacity. And fencing, we're looking like we'll be moving in there on the weekends mid-year. And as we get people interested in offering programs, that is something we're looking to expand into the Casanova Center. It's just a matter of having interested instructors. So what's next? We are planning for Halloween. That's our next big event. It's going to be a Halloween movie night and trunk and treat here on Colton Hall lawn on Saturday, October 21st. There's going to be food trucks and trunks and treats, and then a movie starting at 7 we're showing The Nightmare Before Christmas, and food vendors will be there. So it's really us working with a lot of different city departments, but also nonprofit groups, My Museum, Old Monterey Business Association. Hopefully we're going to get the Coast Guard there, Montage and Ohana is coming. And then we've got some private businesses with their food trucks. And so really trying to work with everyone that we can. We did form a lot of partnerships during COVID-19, and we're just trying to expand those as much as we can. So recruitment is an ongoing thing that we will always be focused on, especially part-time staff. We hired someone for a recreation specialist. We're hoping to open that recruitment for a coordinator very soon. We are looking to expand our program offerings based on staff capacity and budget. We are just, it just depends on who is interested in teaching and what we can accommodate. Also, El Estero Park Center is going to host a spay neuter clinic on October 16th. We just found out about that last night. We were approached by MPD to offer that with the SBCA. So another great service. We're still looking at our online software, fine-tuning, SmartRec, putting more services online that make it easy for people to get their questions answered and help them. We're also marketing and planning for our post-summer programs, thinking about next summer already. We're blocking off dates and times. It's crazy. I felt bad about talking to the staff about summer when we just finished. We're also thinking about mid-year adjustments and what monies we might need to ask for depending on we're thinking about the minimum wage and having to address those things. So we're planning well ahead. So yeah, that is, I think, the last slide for Monterey Recreation. Yes, it is Ryan's turn.
Yeah, so the sports center had a busy summer, day and night. The place had a lot of people, over 11,000 weekly attendance. We still have over 6,000 active MSC members. So it was a great summer, and it's continuing through the fall as well. Lori's area personal training, she and Marcia have been doing fantastic. I think that total revenue has doubled, and the amount of packages sold, I think, is pretty close to doubling. So they've done a terrific job with that. And then we have the new concept machine, the 2-ski ERG. It's in the picture there. So swing by and take a look at it if you have a chance. Fitness, this is also Lori's area, and her group exercise classes are full. That's one of the things that people come to the front desk about is, oh, can you get more bikes so I can get into class, or can we make more room? So she's doing terrific there, and she's adding new classes. She has the Chi Flow with Terry and then the UJAM Fitness. So Lori's doing terrific with building back the group exercise program. Tony in his area, the private lessons are still booming. The summer obviously is big for that. His pool lane reservations, that's been very consistent throughout the summer. It's continuing through the fall. And then the lifeguard certification, he and Jason's in the picture there at the bottom. They run lifeguard certification courses And so that's where we try to handpick lifeguards to work at the sports center. And we've gotten some great employees that way through that program. The group swim lessons are still very popular, over 600 participants, great revenue there for the last 3 months. And PE for homeschool is something we started last spring, and then we just started it up again in August. And so this August, we had 40 students enrolled for the very first session. So that program is building and getting bigger. So we hope to add more hours and more days in the future. Summer sports camp. In my time at the sports center, this is the biggest enrollment and the biggest revenue ever for sports camp. So the parents were definitely wanting to get their kids back out playing and getting active. So I hired at least 10 or 11 new employees, and I think 9 of them were from Monterey High School. So hopefully we'll have them for many years to come. What's next? Lori's still working on the fall group exercise classes, trying to add as much as she can. We do a lot of community outreach at the health fairs for City of Monterey, City of PG. We're offering 3 weeks of sports camp in October, one for Monterey's week, one for Carmel's week, and one for PG's week, trying to help all the parents out. And then Pumpkin Plunge is our signature event, and it's Saturday, October 28th from 5:30 to 7:30. And we had easily 200 participants last year, so we expect that again. Upcoming projects, the dehumidifier, which helps out in the pool area, keeping the temperature nice. Replastering of the pools is definitely needed. So we're looking forward to getting those hopefully approved and then hopefully started on in the spring at some point. Slide maintenance and painting, hopefully that'll take place in the next couple of months. And then the gym and Studio 1 and Studio 2 floors just need their touch up and protective coating. So hopefully we'll get that done soon as well. And then we're just waiting for the last of the natatorium doors to be replaced, one by Tony's office and then the other one by the deep end of the small pool. And then we'll be all done in there for doors. And that's it for the Sports Center.
So now is the time when we open it up for public comments. Nate, if you could give the instructions for those that are online or on the phone.
Yes, good evening, Madam Vice Chair, Commissioners. For the safe attendance of our public meetings, wearing a mask is recommended. Please keep your phones and devices in the council chamber muted to prevent audio interference with tonight's meeting. There are 2 ways you can virtually participate in tonight's meeting. You may join us using the Zoom app on your computer or mobile device, or you can also call into the meeting. To join the meeting on Zoom on your computer, smartphone, or telephone, use the link or phone number on the agenda at isearchmonterey.org. To call in, please dial toll-free 833-568-8864. Then enter meeting ID 160-922-2935#. And if prompted to enter a participant ID, press pound again. Detailed instructions on using Zoom are available at monterey.org/public meetings. To make a public comment using the Zoom app, you can virtually raise your hand by pressing the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. If you dialed in by phone, raise your hand by dialing *9, and then unmute yourself when called upon by dialing *6. You must do both. Public commenters will be muted until it is their turn to speak. Please stay within the time limit established for the meeting, and a countdown timer will be shown on the screen. If you're connected live on Zoom, the timer is accurate with no delay. And today's meeting is also streamed live on the city's YouTube account at youtube.com/City of Monterey with a approximately 10-second delay, and on Comcast channel 25 with up to a 90-second delay. As always, we look forward to receiving your public comment. We will start with a public comment in the council chambers. So if you have public comment, please approach the lectern.
Would anyone like to make a comment?
So this is Yep. So this is public comment for the presentation. There will be public comment for anything not on the agenda after we approve the minutes.
Okay.
So this is just for what we just presented.
Your comments have something to do with what we just presented. Great. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Arnold. Recently moved back to Monterey. Born and raised here. I would love to see a comparison in terms of the funding for Parks and Rec pre-COVID versus post-COVID. I was thrilled to see the additional positions being filled, but it's not clear to me kind of how much you're still operating kind of behind the 8 ball in terms of staff and funding. And given the levels of participation and particularly the constituencies served, kids and seniors and working parents, it would just be nice to see where the Parks and Rec Department, all of its divisions fit within the city's financial priorities. So I just would love to see that.
Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it.
Yep. If you'd like to just email me your contact info, montereyrecreation@monterey.org. We can get that to you.
Anyone else? Nate, anyone online?
Let's take a look here. We have no public comment on this item.
All right, then we will close the public comments. And we will now go to approval of the minutes of the last meeting, which was Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. And are there any questions about the minutes?
Vice Chair, before we do the minutes, if you want to ask any commissioner comments on the
Oh.
presentation, if they want
Happy
to.
Before we do that, any comments from the commissioners?
Yeah, I just have a quick comment, a couple questions. First, wanted to say I'm really glad to hear that the staff, the director, and the staff that were at Camp Kiansabi are considering coming back. I was really impressed with them. Enjoyed sharing a meal and hearing about their work there. My questions are one for you, Louis. How is it going with the beach mats? Have you gotten any feedback on that?
So we've got a couple nice responses to the beach mats, but all in all, the maintenance hasn't been a problem.
Nice.
But we did lose them because a truck drove over them, so we had to put some new ones out in a different location. So
Right after the park tour.
yeah,
But where are they exactly now,
they're
Louis?
just a little just past the beach house now, on the other side of the beach house,
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
kind of in front of Monterey Kayaks in the back side of it.
So was that a city truck or a
It was
live
not.
state
Truck. It
state
was,
truck?
It was somebody with those really nice bathrooms, those
Oh, yeah. The
yeah,
bathroom
really nice
trailers.
bathrooms,
Mhm.
really big trailer.
Mhm.
Tried to drive down the mat,
Okay.
real close to the ocean.
Yeah. Okay.
For the seals?
It was
Yeah.
for the seals.
Okay, my other question was about the playground program, and I was just curious, out of the 3 sites, which one had the highest enrollment?
Actually, Via Paraiso and Hilltop were tied. They both had the same amount. And our lowest enrollment was actually Casanova. overall.
Okay. And then just following up with that with Casanova, I know you guys are starting to do some things there. So, but there's not a director there, right? So how is that being coordinated within Parks and Rec? Who's taking that on as far as
Yeah.
stepping into that?
Again, it's based on staff capacity. So really, Nate has been taking a big portion of the planning, but he is still functioning as both the recreation supervisor and the recreation coordinator at El Estero. Rachel Dice, who's our recreation coordinator at Hilltop, has been assisting as well, because she's so familiar with that
Mhm.
facility and that neighborhood. And then our newest recreation specialist, Mallory Hill, will be assisting as well, but it's going to be a whole team effort and also hopefully some part-timers.
Okay.
But it is based on what we can accommodate.
Yeah.
And we just could not do anything more during the summer months than what we
Yeah.
were doing.
Well, appreciate that the staff are doing what they can. I was just there this last week and observed lots of people enjoying the area. And I looked in the window to see what was going on inside. And I saw the little preschool chairs and all that stuff. And I was just curious if there's been much demand to try to bring that back, the preschool there.
We are not seeing the demand. There's been input that they would like that, but we're not seeing the demand for
Mhm.
that. The neighborhood has definitely changed. We're also dealing with MPUSD offering TK and opening up that their own preschools and free preschool and expanding their preschool program. And
Okay.
then we lost the Foothill School,
Yeah.
which was a big feeder for our programs at Casanova. Now that
Okay.
that's closed, so that it's had an effect on
Yeah.
the participation for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I just wanted to offer my congratulations once again on resurrecting so many of these programs and serving the kids and the community and it's just such a relief. I feel like we've all been holding our breath for a few years. It's nice to see everything blossoming. I also had a question. Why are there so many seals where they are right? I don't ever remember there being so many of them.
Well, they did last year. They came last year too, and there was just as many, but they're not, they've moved to where the Santa Rosalia statue is. There's
Yeah.
more there now, and there's really a lot of them. From what I understand, they come up from Southern California. From what I understand, they're all males. And they just, this is their trip to get away. I don't see any over there. So, I mean, there are just a lot of them and they're a problem.
They're
People love them, but they're stinky.
Mhm.
stinky, yeah.
And they've been getting through the fencing and, you know, it's an issue.
I heard that the harbor had electrified some of the docks.
Well, they've had that and it works. It's
Yeah.
very low voltage and it just, you know, keeps them from getting on the docks.
I'm wondering if maybe there's fewer on the docks now and so maybe more on the
No.
shore.
I
No,
think that's just, they come up from down south and this is gonna be a thing that I think they're gonna see every year.
okay.
Hopefully not twice a year.
They
Hmm.
follow food too. And
Yeah.
you have colder water, much colder water in the Monterey Bay, and that's much better for the food chain.
Hmm.
And social media, I blame social media.
Are they not at the Coast Guard Pier in high numbers anymore?
So this is another thing I've heard. So they're at the Coast Guard Pier, but the breakwater, I hear the cormorants have taken over the breakwater. So they would usually hang out at the breakwater. So they're not hanging out at the breakwater because the cormorants are scaring them off the breakwater. So they come in and get on the beach. And, I've heard that from a few people. So
Oh, birds chased them off.
yeah.
Hmm. They're scared of cormorants? I guess they poke them, huh?
It's really protected where they're at too. So yeah,
Yeah.
they like it.
Any other?
Yeah, look, I don't remember if it was addressed, but I think it was in the NCIP stuff. Have you started the fuel reduction in the capital site?
Yeah. Not as heavy as we'd like to, but we have started.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
that's it.
Okay, we will close the comments from the commission and we would like to move on to the approval of the minutes. This is the minutes for Parks and Recreation Commission as of Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. Are there any questions on the minutes?
I move to approve.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Motion passes. Oh, we have to vote.
Yes.
Yep. Approve?
I,
No abstentions, no declines, so the motion passes. Next, we're going to go for the approval of the minutes for the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. Are there any questions on those minutes? Any comments?
That was the field trip.
Yes, that was the field trip, right?
All right. Well, there it is. I wasn't there, but I still moved to approve it. It's pretty
Okay.
straightforward.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Motion passes. So now we're going to have public comments for, I remember this will only be for 3 minutes. And these are concerning an item that is not on the agenda. So if we have anyone who would like to make a comment about something that's not on the agenda, please come to the podium.
It's on. I'm Lee Whitney, representing the Glenwood neighborhood and also the Alto Mesa neighborhood where the ever popular Old Capitol project is located. 135 beautiful acres. If someone comes from your department, it's already approved, 250K to clean it up, 95K to do the general report, the general plan thing, which I hope we're getting in December maybe. But if someone could email to me and I can get to my committee, any updates? I heard that there were 3 bids and the bids were refused, and I heard 3 more bids came in. Heard a vicious rumor one of them got accepted, but I'm not sure. Anyway, if someone, you don't have to answer tonight, someone would please email me so we can keep updated. We want a seat at the table. We've got some great ideas and even looking into to private funding. Thank you.
I don't mind letting you know, we did select a firm in July, and we're working on the contract.
Email me.
Yep.
Anyone else in the room that would like to make a comment about an item that's not on the agenda? Nate, do you have anyone online that wants to do that?
Madam Vice Chair, we do not have anyone online that would like to make a comment.
Thank you very much. So those comments are now closed. Next in line is the public appearance and the reports on action. So we're going to review the Parks and Recreation related proposed neighborhood and community improvement program, NCIP, projects for fiscal year 2023 through 2024 for conformity to the Parks and Recreation Master Plan and provide direction to staff to advise City Council. Shannon.
I'm going to pass this off really quickly. No, just kidding. So we are looking at the Parks and Recreation related projects for NCIP for fiscal year 24. They're included as an attachment. There were 22 total projects, including 4 cutoff projects, I believe, that are, 3 cutoff projects that are Parks and Recreation related. And so in your agenda packet, you'll see the agenda report, and then you will see the list of all of the projects that were approved, along with 4 cutoff projects. But not all of them we will review today. We will just review the 22 that are Parks and Rec related. And in the far left column, you will see something that refers to particular pages of the Parks and Rec Master Plan where we feel those projects are in compliance. That's not intended to be an exhaustive list of how we believe it to be compliant. It's just to address that in many ways it is. If we were to go through Parks and Rec Master Plan, I'm sure we could cite many different sections of the plan that pertain to each particular project. But we just wanted to give you all of these. If you have any concerns or anything, now would be the time to share those with us. The NCIP projects are going to City Council at the second meeting of October at this point, which is October 17th. At that point, they would be approved by council so that the funds are available to move forward on those projects. So if we do have a little PowerPoint presented, and I'm going to call Reggie, or is it Reggie's going to be our designated? He's our NCIP project coordinator to kind of go through them, and I can chime in as well if you guys have any questions about specific projects.
You run it, or you got? Oh, okay. Okay, good evening. My name is Reginald Paulding, and I'm a senior engineer with the City of Monterey. And as Shannon said, I guess coming on, I'm the new NCIP coordinator. So yeah, we can take a look at the projects here. Let's start. So there are well, this one here, this is an Alta Mesa neighborhood, and this is a Dondavi Creek Path construction, Dondavi Creek Path improvements. So there's an existing footpath that runs through the park, and there was an NCIP project that's been split up into multiple phases to make some significant improvements to that path. And so this one was funded, or well, it's recommended for funding. And in the appendix, you have the dollar amounts. I forget exactly what the recommendation is for this one. It's 250,000. Thanks, Tom. All right, so does anyone have any questions? This is the only project in the Alta Mesa neighborhood. So I don't know if we have any questions on that, but keep going. The next one, Casa Nova Oak Knoll Park improvements. And this one was on, I think it included a fence. It's currently a chain link fence. And the proponent for the project wanted it, the neighborhood was seeking to have it upgraded to like a wrought iron fence that be more in line with what's in the neighborhood. All right, next one, Deer Flats Park fencing and benches reconfiguration. So these two benches you're seeing here, they are facing the street, and the proponent for the project wants the benches flipped so that they face the park area, just so that people can observe and enjoy what's happening in the park. So that's pretty straightforward. The next one, so we have about 5, I believe, or so projects in Del Monte Beach, all in different parks and at the beach area. So this one is the Tot Lot. They want to have a shade structure installed. There isn't one there now. Okay, next one is to resurface that same lot. I think it's been in need for some time. And then we have a couple boardwalk related projects. This one is, to replace boards and such along, I think, or maybe it's the whole boardwalk, because we have a couple different ones. So it's the whole boardwalk. So we're looking at that one. But then I think if you go to the next one, okay, this is a boardwalk extension going down. So it's my understanding that the boardwalk used to go further down towards the beach, but then due to winter storms and, the rough seas, it's been broken up in that area a couple times. So the neighborhood proposed to put it back one more time, and that's what this project would be. And here we go, boardwalk repair. So we have some high boards, or they're like lifted, and or some of them can become subject to the conditions out there, and they get rot or whatnot. So replace those boards as necessary. And this is an ongoing project. I think it gets funded at about $50,000 a year or so. So this is just to continue that one. Okay, so that was Del Monte Beach. And then here at Municipal Beach, right off of Wharf 2 and the marina parking area and the rec trail, this would be to add a shower to an area off of that existing restroom. It would be for feet only, lower leg kind of a thing. So right now it would be, say maybe 2 feet off the ground. It wouldn't be a full body shower. Okay, so here, this is one of the Park and Rec Commission's priority projects. This was priority project number 5 to upgrade the playground equipment out at El Estero Park. So this one was recommended for funding to the city council. All right, upgrading the bike racks at the sports center. So I'm sure you're all aware that kind of the style of the bike racks are tight together, and I think every year bikes are getting bigger and bigger. So this project would be to look at racks that would be more suitable for the larger style bikes that we have now, so that people could lock those up and maybe worry less while they're in the sports center. Rio Paraiso Park basketball court upgrade. Again, here, this is another one of your identified priority projects, priority number 10. So this one is recommended, funding for, recommended for approval, and it would be to upgrade that existing court. Ryan Ranch pickleball court, probably one of the most highly supported projects we had this year. Parks and Rec Commission priority number 12. This project is currently, as it's scoped, it's design only. So it would be to kind of work on, kind of a site, siting the court and necessary amenities like, restrooms, lighting, what have you. So that's what we have right now. It would not include any construction. That would be at a later date. The Veterans Park basketball court expansion. So right now there's a half court there, or maybe a little less than half court. So this project would be to maybe, find an appropriate spot, or if that works there, maybe reorient it somehow to have a full-size court at Veterans Park. Maybe do a 3-point line. Okay. So here we have bocce ball court resurfacing at Veterans Park. So that one pretty straightforward. And then this one here, Ferenti Park playground improvements. So this is targeting specifically this triangle area on the outside of the fence, to add a park bench or a picnic table improvements to maybe we can better use that space. All right, the next one. Dune restoration and fence sign repair. I'm sure if you've been out there, you've seen that especially the wood fencing is kind of in need of some repair, and maybe some plantings on the dunes, I think is kind of what was envisioned with this project. And here, community-wide forest management. This is an ongoing year-over-year funded project, and NCIP committee recommended a pretty high dollar amount this year, $750,000 to work on these areas. And that was also to go with some matching funds, some grant funding. All right. And okay, so we had some various projects along the recreation trail. We had some competing projects on the recreation trail. One was here, as you see, for permeable pavers in that DG area off on the side. This was the proponent's idea, was that this would better address what you see here, this ponding that we get. Then we had a competing project, which was just to resurface the DG, and this one got more votes from the committee. Recreation trail bike repair station. So this one, I don't think the locations have been identified, but somewhere along the rec trail installed 2. I think there's one currently in the Pacific Grove section of the recreation trail. So I think this would be kind of match that. And I think it would be provided by TAMZ. or recommended by TAMZ. Again, on the rec trail, replace existing water stations with these here or something similar with these dog bowl attachments and water bottle attachments, which aren't currently, those stations don't currently have either one of those. And here we had Parks and Rec Commission priority project, I think, well, number one, recreation trail use study. So that one was recommended. I think this was, is this one of the cutoff projects, but it made the list. And so it's would be to look at. So there was a question on how many times we had done this type of study. Based on what I could find, we've done 2 prior recreation trail use studies. So this one again would be to look at various uses and how to, if we can, you know, make any changes or adjustments to the trail. And I think that was it.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I appreciate it. So, commissioners, do you have any questions to ask?
Thank you for that presentation. Just for my own understanding, when I look at the document in my package, the projects are ranked, and in that column, where is the cutoff? What number project is where we can see the difference between those who are approved and then those that are cutoff projects?
Okay, well, so the cutoff is something that's, I guess, specific to NCIP. So when we say cutoff,
Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, I cannot hear that microphone.
Oh, yeah, your microphone is off. Yeah.
It didn't print the line, but it's the last 4 projects, 45A, 45B, 47A, and 47B. Those are the cutoff projects.
You have an ongoing tally on the right-hand column as to funds used.
correct,
So,
or funds available.
right. So I think the cutoff is one that goes negative.
Into the negative.
Oh,
yes.
I see.
Goes negative,
Uh-huh.
right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened. So yeah, as Shannon said, right, so if you look on, I think was it page 7 of the packet? 6 and 7, yeah, it shows
Mhm.
the cutoff.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Just one more question. Looking at this document where everything's organized so well, when we see the column that says PRC priority, and then there's that little asterisk that says the CDBG funds available, were any of them, I didn't see any asterisks on any of the numbers in that column, but are any of them available for that?
Well, we didn't evaluate that yet, so we can go back and take a look at those and see if we can get grant funding. I think some of them are available for different funding sources, but
At this point, that's still knowledge that you'll gain at some point. Okay,
Correct.
that's great. Another question, sorry, Phil, I don't want to dominate, but okay, about the basketball court upgrades at Via Paraiso. Maybe this was explained earlier. That's exciting that actually I think made it. And so does that include extending the court, or is it just resurfacing the court? What is it
I think
including?
the court is it full size? Yeah.
It's not, but it's extending it to include that section that's kind of just sectioned off that has like
A wall?
yeah, it would
Okay,
extend it.
just-
So it still would not be a full regulation size.
Okay, okay,
But close.
okay.
For the forest management, is that just more money for dealing with trees? Or is it a forest management
For the
plan?
greenbelt, fuel reduction, yeah, it's just mostly for greenbelt fuel reduction.
Okay,
But we are gonna team up with a couple grants and stuff like that. So it's gonna be fuel reduction plus all the trees laying on the ground that need to be removed. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
the Ryan Ranch pickleball court, is that still is there a planned site? Is it going to be near the vacant city lot near the disc golf course?
So I think we've toured it twice. It's immediately to the right.
Yeah.
That is kind of used as a construction
Yeah.
staging area, but it's fairly flat and it's already been disturbed.
Yeah.
So when we did the disc golf survey and environmental, that wasn't an issue because it's already a
Mhm.
disturbed area, but there are other environmental issues inside Ryan Ranch, the
Okay.
park, that this will not affect.
And is there enough parking to support both of those places? Because I know every time I've gone out there to play disc golf, there's been chip trucks. I don't know if I can't remember if they're West Coast or PG&E.
That
But-
that would probably have to find a new home, but there is enough. And pickleball typically doesn't play at the same time as disc golf either.
Okay,
They're
perfect. Thank you.
Just to follow up on that, a question about the capacity there in Ryan Ranch for big events. I saw the parking listed at, for 80 vehicles. And at some point, I feel like we talked about it being a concern with the flight paths over that area. So is 80 kind of the cap for what we could include out there to stay safe?
No, it is marked as an area where it's an emergency flight. Not that anything is going to land, but if there was an accident, it's in that, it could be in those areas. Mainly, it's going to prohibit something like lighting or a ballpark where there's stadium seating and people are sitting in one
Okay.
stationary location for a long time.
Okay.
But when we reviewed disc golf and this as well, it's people will not be there for long periods of time. They will not be congregating in one specific area. So
Got it.
we feel like it would be. We do have to go to the airport board, which is we take their recommendation into account, but city council does not have to agree to it if
Got
they
it.
choose not to.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, if we have public comments on what we've just gone over, we'd be happy to have you come up to the podium for those that are here in the room.
Good evening. My name is John Sovereign. I'm here to support the pickleball facility at Ryan Ranch. I think you don't need to be educated about the demand for pickleball and the history of pickleball in the city of Monterey. Just wanted to reflect briefly. It's been 3.5 years since I started being involved in this project, and I want to thank the staff, particularly Shannon and Tom, for all the assistance they've provided over that time. It was my first rodeo. It seems longer than 3.5 years, but here we are. And appreciate the commission's support through that time for this growing sport. I've been told that it's not over until the city council sings, so I would encourage you to be present on October 17th to continue supporting this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anyone else that would like to make a comment that's here? Nate, is there anyone online that would like to make a comment?
We do not have any public comment online.
All right, so we will close public comments on that. We're going to return to the commissioners to see if there's any other questions, discussions on this. Any final comments?
Just a question for you guys, the staff. I know we prioritized these projects and submitted them, and then there were, the 12 in order. And I'm just curious how you feel about what was accepted as far as what, there's some cutoff ones, but how are you guys doing with where things are landing? I think overall we're pleased. Of course, we always would love to have more support for our facilities that need maintenance and that type of thing. But we do feel very pleased with all of the projects that were approved. It's pretty exciting, especially in our parks. And it looks like, the sports center got something and, each area got something.
Mhm.
So we're extremely appreciative of all that support. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add?
No, I mean, I think we've, some of those projects we've submitted more than once. So we're
Mhm.
excited to see that, there is potential for Elistero, which is our oldest playground.
Mhm.
The Aparizo basketball court definitely needs some love. The rec trail study, I know it's been mentioned before, but now we've got e-bikes and new things, and it would probably be helpful to just
Mhm.
have a good study if that gets approved as part of the cutoff projects to, maybe finally come up with a plan and lay some of these disputing projects to rest
Mhm.
so that we can move forward. So yeah, I think we're excited with what was approved, and hopefully next year, some more things, because everything we approved were really enhancements and to existing facilities, which we feel pretty strongly is we need to enhance existing facilities as well.
Just to follow up on that real quick, I know there's competing projects for the rec trail as far as what was going to happen on that strip. Do you guys still feel like it's important to move forward with that, even though the priority is the study, as far as putting something in that's more permanent, like pavers, before you really analyze the use?
But yeah, I don't think that with that area that it's in, I don't think that matters. That's not a pinch point there. And it is a problem with with the drainage there.
Okay,
It would
so you're in
make-
favor
would
of
just make a bigger walk.
moving that forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good to know. Okay, great.
I have a question on the Elistero Center that we visited. I was very impressed with the center, and I know it needs some love. But what I love about it most is who it serves. And we didn't get any funding for an improvement to the building, I gather. Are we going
I'm
to?
not sure where that ended up on the list of 100 projects, but it didn't.
Not sexy enough, I gather.
No, I know there was some questions about sea level rise and everything, but really those things what we've submitted needed to be done now, not 50 years from now.
Right.
The
right.
building's going to be in a whole different condition in 50 years.
Right.
So,
Okay. I would like to help out in getting some visibility for that, because I thought that was a very important center, especially for all the kids that benefit. So thank you for that. I gather we need to vote on this, correct?
Yes,
Right.
correct. If you agree that everything is conformance with the Parks Master Plan and that you are comfortable sending us on to council, I think it's already been to Planning Commission, and this would be the final step
Okay.
so that hopefully these projects can be funded, and then Reggie can
So-
do his.
So taking all of that into consideration, would someone please move to vote on that, please?
Okay, I'll make a motion, and so just to understand, so it's the motion to agree that these are in conformity with the Parks and Recreation Master Plan and to move them to final vote with the city council.
Correct.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Reggie.
At this stage, we will have staff comments, and Karen, if you would lead off the staff comments, please.
Yes, thank you so much. Just want to give you a couple of really super quick updates. First was the old Capitol site, just to confirm that we have selected a consultant and we're in the contract phase right now. So just working through all the insurance requirements and those types of things that are required for the contract. So that's taking a little bit of time, but we are working through that. The Laguna Grande JPA staff, myself and other multiple agencies, as well as some of our planning staff, have been meeting and working on an RFP for the permitting process for the work, hopefully to implement the plan, the trail maintenance strategy that we came up with. So that is moving forward. And we also are working on putting together a board meeting for the GPA sometime later this fall. So that work is in progress. I'd also like to thank the entire staff, especially the division head, Shannon, Ryan, and Louie, and all of the coordinators for a fabulous summer. And fall is off to a great start, and I'm really excited about the new season. And we're also really looking forward to introducing to you some new full-time staff members the next time we get together. So thank you for all of your support. We really appreciate it.
So, yes, so we do have a firm selected for the Old Capitol site. We are working through the contract and hopefully we can come to an agreement on that, and then move forward with and hopefully have a lot of community input, but also Parks and Rec Commission input on that process. And I think our goal is to have it wrapped up by June 30th. Like the whole plan. Originally, we were shooting for December. Now I think we've kind of realized the contract and all that is going to take a little bit longer. And then from there, we'll figure out the next steps for that site. So we are excited about that. Summer was a great summer. It took everyone working very long hours, and every single person chipped in the entire division in some way or another, doing multiple things, not just their community center, but with Spring Pines and shopping. And I mean, it just was a huge team effort. So I can't, everyone, the feedback that we got from the community was great. Like either it was a very few comments that things were wonderful, but no negative comments. And that's a good thing. So we had a really, really good summer, and it was just exciting, even though we were very tired, to feel like we were doing the things we wanted to do and loved, and that people were appreciating our traditional programs that we have so much invested in. So thank you all for coming to see Camp Kinsabi. We'll do that again. Another thing that's a big part of summer is our work that we do with our Parks Division. We couldn't have summer in our parks without parks staff and Louis and Steve. And I know they're very tired and they're stressed too, but we've never been able to have a summer program in our parks without our Parks Division. We work so closely with them. So Louis and Steve and Chris at CQS, you guys saw the pool. You saw all the things we had to do. We also took, it was a year of putting a lot of effort in with Public Works. So we had to work with Public Works to get granted out there and do a lot of projects. So it really is something. Summer doesn't just take the Rec Division. It takes the Parks Division. It takes Public Works. We have to get accounting involved. We have contracts. We have invoices to pay. It generates a lot more work for everyone in the city, but we truly couldn't have done it without Louis and Steve and Chris and Andre and everyone at our park sites. So, yeah, I mean, I just, love to talk about summer. So we're already thinking next summer and all the things that we need to do, because we just want to make sure we are as proactive as we possibly can be. So I want to thank the Recreation Division team for everything. We have a really, really solid team, and excited about the new staff that we're getting, and making them feel welcome and everything. So we're just, very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Louis?
Okay, so I'd like you, just to let you all know that it'd be nice if you can take a look at the cemetery entrance on Fremont.
I do.
We do a lot of our own landscaping, and we do a lot of our own landscaping, and this one we've done totally in-house with the retaining wall and everything. So really the guys did a lot of nice work there. Not quite finished yet, but it's really a big improvement right now. And just to remind everybody, the parking day is Friday, and there's going to be quite a few city spots down there. Come take a look.
Thank you. Ryan?
Let's see. Thank you, commissioners, for taking the time to help make Monterey Parks and Rec better. Appreciate all that. And then it was good to have the tour in August to see everything, just a small smidgen of what Louis is responsible for up there. So yeah, the tour was great. I'm glad I did that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any final comments?
Thank you once again, and looking forward to this year with more staff. And this is just everything, not everything we wanted, but certainly a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and just a shout out and thank you guys because summer, summer programs all always hold a very special place in my heart. And thanks you guys for keeping those up for the children.
And I did come tonight wanting to say how great I think the cemetery improvements look, because I drive by that every day. And so it's very noticeable. It's quite an upgrade. So good job, team. Yeah.
I agree. I drive by it frequently and I always look. Thank you very much for everything you've done. And I'm thrilled to hear that you're finally getting some full-time staffing that you've been asking for and needing for so long. And I hope that continues until you get exactly what you want. So if that's it, I think we can adjourn the meeting. And the next meeting is going to be October 11th, 5:30 here in the conference room. And thank you so much. Meeting adjourned.